Hello, Apparel Production 1. Thank you so much for joining me today to go over our lesson for today's class on September 16th. So with all of that being said, let's get started. The information for today's assignment, besides this video and the email I've already sent you, is going to be found in the gradebook. So if you navigate to the gradebook for our class, which is Apparel Production 1, and then go to a portfolio apparel identification. When you click on that, it's going to look like this. And you will see a few things in here. It'll have instructions. So it says following the instructions for InDesign we went over in class, which the instructions are on this video you're currently watching, so stay tuned. You will add onto your InDesign portfolio by creating pages about apparel identification according to the rubric below. Here is the rubric. You can also use this as a checklist. If needed, please see the attached example to verify you are completing the assignment correctly. Here is the example. You are welcome to refer to that as many times as you would like. And then please utilize the video link. The video link is actually the video you're currently watching. So if you have questions, feel free to come watch this as many times as you would like. Pause, start it over, rewatch a certain section, whatever you need to do. And if things still are not making sense, feel free to shoot me an email or go ahead and just wait till our next class period, because you will have multiple class times to work on this where we can check in and make sure you're on the right path. With that being said, I'm going to go ahead and go over the assignment and kind of what the Apparel Identification Visual Glossary is. So here is the Apparel Identification Visual Glossary. Think of this as like a dictionary for this assignment. So this is the title page. And then on each page, you will find sketches and also definitions based on each type of item. So this page is on neckline and collars. We have another page on sleeves, slacks, and so on. So you can scroll through this as many times as you would like and compare and contrast for this assignment. It's really crucial that you're following the definitions on here, because when we go and find images for this assignment, Google is not always right. You want to make sure you're comparing what you're finding on Google and the internet to what the information actually is from the class. So over here, this is the rubric. So the assignment is to collect 9 images from the internet of each type of apparel listed. So the apparel listed is here and also within our glossary. You will add these pages to your portfolio and then export to PDF. Your current portfolio is the one that has your name as the cover page, or the class and name as cover page, and then your name plus color plus aesthetic page as well. So we're just going to continue to add on to that. Once you have exported your final document, you will attach the PDF to the assignment page in the gradebook, which is where we just were. Each page will show one style and will include the following. So you will have a title. So if I was doing a page on necklines and collars, my title would be necklines and collars. Then you need 9 images. There are 8 specific images according to the manual or the glossary, plus 1 repeat of your choosing. So here, if I was doing a page on slacks, I need to find all these 8 different slacks. Also, I scroll down here, I have a checklist. You guys are welcome to use this, print it out, highlight whatever you want to make sure you are finding the correct items for each category. A lot of them will say for number 9, choice of repeat. What this means is you have an option, basically. So let's say I really liked the halter type of collar or neckline. I can then go through and find an additional halter picture and use that as my choice of repeat. The only one that's a little bit different is pockets. There's only 7 different types of pockets we're going to go over, so the choice of repeat happens twice. So your images are one thing, and then after that you need to make sure you're labeling everything. And the very last thing, it's kind of an all or nothing point, is your craftsmanship. So is everything spaced? Does the font look professional? Does your page look professional? And so on. So here's an example of this. So we have our first page from our last assignment, second page on aesthetic from the last assignment, and now we're in our new page for this assignment. So you need a title page called Apparel Identification with your name, and then you're going to start creating pages. And it's that same 9-box format that we went over in class. The only difference is you don't have those color boxes at the bottom. You just have a title. And then you have your labels. So now I'm going to go over to InDesign and show you how I set up these different pages so we don't have to recreate this page every single time we're ready to move on to a different category. Okay, so we're back in InDesign and you have your portfolio open. The portfolio, again, are the first two pages that we went over in our last class period, and now we're just going to add on to them. So the very first thing we need to do is create our title page. Since we kind of want the format to stay the same throughout the entire apparel portfolio, the easiest way to do that is to copy pages. So over here in the Pages panel, again, if this tab is not available to you, you can go up to Window and then choose Pages. And again, we're not going to do anything to these pages up here that say None or A Master. Don't touch those. We're going to create a third page for our title. According to our rubric, the title is Apparel Identification and then your name. So this is essentially what this will look like, just different wording. So I'm going to actually copy this page. So if I click on one and drag it all the way down to the sticky note, it creates a second page. So if I scroll down within the document, here I'm on my third page now, and I'm actually just going to change this from apparel production to apparel identification. Okay, so if I go back to my pages, or if I scroll up, there's page 1, page 2, and page 3. Now I'm ready to create my page for my first category, which is going to be necklines and collars. So I'm going to start a whole new page. Now please pay attention here. I'm going to show you how we're going to format the whole page, then copy it so you can just use it over and over again rather than recreating the page each time, which would be a huge time suck for you guys. So I'm going to go over and create my 9 frames first. So again, on my frame tool, I'm stretching this all the way across here. Don't let go. You're going to use your right arrow key twice, up arrow key twice. And now I have my 9 boxes. I'm going to go over to my selection tool and click off of these. I need to space them out a little bit because if we refer back to our example, you're going to need to put labels under here for each type of collar or neckline. So I'm going to click and drag. So I select these 3 boxes. I'm going to kind of drag these down a little bit. That looks good. Now I'm going to select these 3 and move these down a little bit. And notice on the right side, you guys, you see those green arrows? Those show that my spacing is even in between the boxes. So that looks good. I'm going to click off of that. Now this is a little bit time consuming, but you're going to go in and create text boxes for each one. I've tried doing this where you can kind of do it the same way as the frames, but it has some formatting issues. So this is going to be unfortunately the easiest way, but it just takes a little time. So you're going to go to the type tool and I'm going to leave a little space. I'm going to draw my text box the same size as the frame. And you can see all these green lines show up to show my formatting looks good. Okay, now I'm going to format the text box right now so that it is the same for every single one and we don't have to go back and change it individually. I'm going to change my alignment to the right. I'm going to change my text to whatever I would like it to be for each one. So let's see, I personally like Century Gothic. Okay, and then I'm going to change the size to maybe 14. Okay, and now my text box is set up. I'm now going to copy this and put it under each frame. So Control C, and actually I'm going to move this down a little bit so that the spacing's even. And you can tell it's even because those green little arrows are going to show up to the right of it again. So now I'm going to move this here. I'm going to paste again. And you're just going to keep doing this until your 9 text boxes have been created for your labels. I'm almost done. Okay, so now those are our text boxes. The last thing we need to do is create our text box for our title. So again, back to our type tool. I'm going to go a little bit below here. Okay, and now I can change the font. So this one, I'm going to do my title font. I'm again still going to align this to the left. I'm going to change the size. So necklines, I just wanted to see what this looks like. That could be a good size. You can make it bigger. See what 25 looks like. Okay, I personally like that. And I'm actually going to move this down a little bit for spacing. Okay, so now we have our page format complete for this. The easiest way now to change or to get this to copy is the same way we did the title page. So if you refer back to your rubric, there's 8 different categories. So I'm going to go down here and I'm going to copy this page 8 different times, because we have 8 different categories. We have slacks, we have pockets, necklines. So I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay, as you go through this, you can go in and change the title for each one, but this way you have everything formatted in the exact same way rather than recreating it every single time. So now let's say I'm totally done with this, I'm ready to submit, even though it's going to take a few class periods. You're going to do the exact same thing that you've always done. You're going to do, first, we always want to make sure we're saving, so you'll do File, Save, but then after that, you'll do File, Export, and then make sure you name this according to whatever the rubric would like you to name it. You'll click Save, and then you'll click Export. I'm not going to do that because I'm not actually exporting this, but you can get the idea. So that's just a quick rundown on how to create this format in a very simple way rather than doing it over and over again. Once you're done, remember you're going to submit this to Student View prior to the deadline. You will have multiple class periods to complete this assignment. So again, if you have questions, feel free to rewatch this video, or you can always email me or wait till our next class period. I hope this is helpful for you guys. Please reach out if you need anything, and have a great day.